everybody, to the Big Knick Energy podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jon. With me is my buddy, Marky. Marky,
what's up?
How you doing, man?
Doing very well, Jon. How you doing?
I'm doing about as good as the Knicks are. You know, winners 3 in a row, 8 of the last 10, coming off that big Orlando Magic victory in the NBA Cup, winning out in our group stage, going undefeated to advance to the elimination stage. Things are good in Knicks land.
That was a beautiful, beautiful little beatdown they gave the Magic. Actually, there's nothing little about it.
Nothing little about it. Magic and Pelicans coming off 2 real nice wins. But yeah, love to see the beatdown of the Magic. They're still ahead of us in the standings, so good to show them that doesn't really mean much right now.
No, it doesn't really mean much. It's still very early in the season, and we've been saying, we're just starting to see this team click. You know, like I know we had a couple losses when we thought we were going to go on a run, but you know, the team every day you see something new. Every game, I should say. They're not playing every day, but yeah, it's looking so good, man. This team is so fun to watch. Like yesterday's game with Towns just getting chippy with
no, things are getting real chippy in that Magic game. That was fun. Yeah, Towns versus the brothers Wagner was pretty great.
That was awesome. Yo, when he started clapping and then started clapping back, I was like, yo.
It was definitely on, that's for sure.
And if Bridges knocked down that three, that Cat with the no look whip pass, that the doors would have blew off the garden if that went in.
Yeah, they pretty much did though. So that's where we're at for sure.
Yeah,
it's awesome to see this team coming together. We've been saying December was the time all season long, and guess what? Yep. It's December, and this team is taking form quite nicely. I might say
they are. It's awesome. It's so awesome to watch. I'm really, really, really excited.
You and me both. Well, on this week's episode, we're just kind of going to be checking in, taking stock of all things Knicks, all things going on in this Knicks season. I alluded to it earlier with that Magic victory, but right now we are in the thick of the NBA Cup, going 4-0 in group stage play, on our way to the elimination stage with a home game against the Hawks that, if and when the Knicks win, should send them off to Vegas to play the winner of Bucks Celtics, and then the winner of whoever comes out of the West. Marky, what are your thoughts on the NBA Cup in general? How do you feel about the what used to be known as the in-season tournament, or IST for short, that is now the Emirates
in-season
NBA Cup
tournament? But I think I'm with a lot of other people that it's grown on me. You know, I've heard other people talk about it, and I think, just watching yesterday's game, I was like, it's a cup game. But I think I messaged you. I was like, I want them to. It feels like a big game, that it's like a team we're neck and neck with in the standings. Another team that's got aspirations this year. But then when it came down to it, I was like, I want to win this to advance. Like I want to get to the finals of the cup. If there's one thing that I don't think the Knicks think this, but I don't want any sort of, at the end of the season, if we didn't win the actual championship, that we can hang our heads and say, we won the in-season tournament. It's like, no. These are not the same thing.
I mean, the Lakers didn't do that last year, and I don't really think anybody is, outside of LeBron being like, well, we're the first, champions, and holding on to that a little bit. But I mean, when May and June came around, I didn't hear him, using that as a cop out or anything like that. I actually think, especially this year, it's beneficial to this Knicks team in particular, because with the different courts, and like you said, you can feel the stakes are a little higher, at least higher than your typical early season December game, November game. And as we keep saying, this is a team that needs how to learn to play together. And what better way to learn how to play together than in games that mean a little bit more early on, but aren't, the actual playoffs. I would rather them learn how to play together in more pressurized games in November and December to get ready for the rest of the season, than not have this and, have it take a little longer to get into the flow of this team functioning more as a unit.
Yeah, I like your take on that. That was, I didn't necessarily think the Knicks would be publicly saying that, but I don't want them, if they win this, to like lose a chip off their shoulder. You know what I mean? As I say that out loud, I really don't think this team will.
No, definitely not.
To your point, the experience they're getting by playing in higher stress games is invaluable, especially this early in the year with a new squad. So I'm all for it. I'm rooting for this team to go far. I'm kind of bummed that like they're spacing out the in-season tournament like this. Like I didn't even realize that the cup that the Hawks game isn't until Wednesday. I thought it was like after we played Charlotte coming up that we had.
I think it's Tuesday because these games are Tuesday and Friday except for the Vegas dates. So I think it's Tuesday.
I have the schedule up in front of me.
I thought it was the 10th. Oh, I thought it was Tuesday the 10th. All right, my bad.
They might have just changed it. Who knows? You know.
No, I could be wrong, but no, it'll be a fun one to watch for sure. And yeah, why not? Let's win the cup. Let's win the cup and the NBA championship. Let's be the first team to win both in a season. Why not?
Why can't it be us?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's somebody's going to do it once for the first time, I should say.
Eventually.
So, why can't it be us?
Well, before we get to the rest of the things in Knicks land, let's take a short break.
Sure.
Ask any Knicks fan, Jalen Brunson is as pure a New York point guard as we've had in a long time. But he's not the only pure thing around these parts. Raw coconut water is 100% pure organic coconut water, straight from Thailand's Nam Ham coconuts. A natural source of electrolytes, Raw has no added sugars. Mix your Raw with espresso for a Raw Americano and stay hydrated and energized all at once. Would probably help the Knicks rotation with Tibbs minutes, that's for sure. Grab Raw on Amazon or drinkraw.com today. All right, and now to go just check in on other things going on in Knicks land. One of my hot takes and predictions a couple weeks ago was that Josh Hart would finish with 10 triple doubles on the season, and last night was his second in 20 or so games. I believe 21 games. So 8 more to go in about 60 games. I don't know. What do you think, Mark? You think he's going to do it?
I think it's totally doable.
I do too.
Can we bet on that? Is that like a bettable?
I don't know.
Gamble anymore.
I live in California where that's not legal. So
you're not allowed.
You'll have to do the research on that one.
I'll look into it after the podcast.
Please do and let us know. Also, if you're a gambling website and you want to give us money to say which gambling site we're using, please let us know.
And when I said I don't gamble, I was just kidding.
Hey, I gamble when I'm a state where it's legal. So
Yes. What's funny about that is I every once in a while just peruse stats. Actually, I do it all the time when I'm bored.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, just look at I was looking the other day and it's like you expect every game the Knicks leader in rebounds is going to be Towns. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And it's like Hart has led the team, I want to say, in like 4 or 5 games this year in rebounds.
I believe that. Games. I absolutely believe that.
This is so awesome. Same thing with assists. You'd assume it'd be Brunson, or even you might see Deuce or something. But there's a smattering of Hart in there too. So it's a testament to this dude doing everything.
He literally does everything.
Literally everything.
I meant to say this when we were talking about the cup before, but did you see him and Jalen Brunson talking about what they want to spend the money on?
Oh my God, he wants to watch.
He wants to watch. Brunson wants the money for the rest of the team, which is very on brand for them both.
That was a hilarious little back and forth there.
It was. That
was good. Brunson does all the right things as a leader and as the captain. Whether Brunson wants to also buy a watch, he's not necessarily going to say it like Josh might. 2 totally different personalities there, but yeah,
Brunson,
it's continue. Sorry,
Brunson buys his watches with his Catalina Crunch money. He doesn't need NBF Cup money for that.
I still haven't tried it. I see it, just not the Brunson one.
It was a limited edition. I don't think they have it anymore. That's why I bought a case of it at the time, collector's edition.
Was it good?
I mean, I'm saving all the bags as a collector's item. I definitely haven't broke into them when I didn't have any other snacks in my apartment, I swear. It's pretty good. Right. It's pretty good. It's healthy. So it's like, I think it's like a keto high protein cereal, but it's good.
I'll just stick to my Cocoa Pebbles.
That's fair. They do have like normal Catalina Crunch in grocery stores. I don't know why we're giving them free advertising.
Right now. I don't know either. Boo.
No free advertisements. Catalina Crunch, you owe us a check.
Unless you pay us.
This is the episode where we just beg for sponsorships for the entire duration. All right. Well, we've checked in on Josh Hart. A lot's being made that this isn't the typical Tibbs team in that the Knicks have, I believe, still the number one offense in the NBA.
I'm pretty sure they are,
but are in the bottom third of the NBA defenses. So we have this on the outline as a check-in, as a Wingstop order status. But what is your thoughts on the defense, specifically our Wingstoppers, McCall and OG?
Extra crispy. I think, especially OG. OG plays. I don't see OG being the weak link. I see a lot of bigs that are aggressive, easily getting by Towns. I think our down low presence without Mitch is being felt from a defensive standpoint. Even when Sims comes in, like Sims, I know we've given him praise a little bit over the past few weeks. He's still a bumbling idiot. I'm sorry.
Let's do the Jericho Sims thing. We have a bench segment later that I was going to bring this up in, but let's just do it now while we're talking about the defense as a whole. And I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, you're good.
No, you go on Jericho Sims. I'll clear out, let you go, and then I'll retort.
Yeah, I mean, and we could get into the other bench guys later, but Sims, I look at him, I'm like, he's so soft. Like when you need him to be aggressive and to actually hang on to a ball or go up and use your body and your strength to get a ball, there's no reason a guard should be able to pluck a ball out of your hands. Like, dude, go up with it, go hard, go strong, break somebody's nose, dude. Like, don't be so timid.
Are we talking about offense or defense? Because I agree. We were specifically talking about defense. So if we want to talk about Sims now, let's talk about him on defense and the front court, because I think offense and defense are two different things. You're right. He can't catch a pass. He looks lost on offense. A lot of times he's getting good looks and he's not ready for them. It's bad. But I read a stat earlier today, and I want to say it was from Rit Holtzman on Twitter. I believe I saw it on Instagram from one of the hoops aggregators, but they posted a screenshot of his tweet. And apparently, according to Rit Holtzman, opponents are shooting only 33% at the rim against Jericho Sims.
Interesting.
Specifically, nobody else in the NBA is holding opponents below 40%. So I want to give Sims some credit after knocking him for the last few months. On defense, I think he is playing up to par. On offense, he's definitely lost, and I do think the bright lights of nationally televised games get to him. I think he's not as good when he knows the game's on TNT, like last night with the Magic game. I think it's all a lot of, head stuff, especially the offensive IQ awareness. But I do think on defense, his athleticism, his physical gifts, and he's learning enough of NBA rotation defenses now that, on defense, he is a plus right now.
Shit. I mean, just the eye test and me watching games, I would have never have guessed that. And I trust Ritz Holtzman. I love that account.
It caught me off guard as well. Trust me.
Yeah. Like I would not have thought that, but you know what? He is a big presence, and maybe that's deterring guys and altering shots. Who knows? I mean, I don't not think it's true. Sure. I just,
No, and I mean, I will say the one thing I was thinking of in addition to that is that even though he's holding opponents to those percentages, I think he is fouling a lot. So he's also giving up a lot of charity stripe shots and points that way. But I'm not as ready to bag on Sims as I was earlier. I think we definitely need Precious back, and it sounds like he might be back as soon as this week. But I don't know. Once he comes back, maybe the Knicks big man rotation isn't as bad as we think it is. And obviously, if and when Mitch comes back in January or February, whenever that may be, if we get those four in a decent rotation, maybe this thing's looking a little bit better than we thought.
Yeah, you're probably right. I 100% agree. And you know what? I remember being super pissed about the Mitch news when it was like he's not going to be back till January. And I'm like, that's so long from now, thinking about it, but it's like we're in December right now. We can hang out a month, but that's also with Mitch, you never really know. Like, is January an accurate timeline?
100%.
So, but back to Mikal and OG, if you're talking, I mean, from an offensive standpoint, they both have had ups and downs. I mean, OG was 0 for 16 before from 3 before he knocked one down yesterday, I think they were saying during the broadcast.
Yeah, it was ugly there.
And it seems like Mikal's got his groove back. We should do a shirt where it's like Stella got her groove back, but it's Mikal. Sorry, I'm working on it. McCall.
He's not Russian. He's not Russian.
I'm just calling him Bridges. Bridges. Yeah. So, and dude, when those two dudes are on, it's so fun to watch.
I mean, here's the fun thing about it, and we were going to check in on Brunson and Cat next, but like those two are always going to be 1 and 2 or close to it if you need them to be. But like as long as one of OG or McCall or even Hart or Deuce step up, like there's your third offensive option. And I mean, this team can just beat you in so many ways that as much as we'd like to see consistency, and I'm still going to be on that OG for All-Star Weekend campaign, OG NBA All-Star 2024, 2025, book it, or so I hope. But there's so many different ways they can beat you on any given night that there's just so many weapons on this team.
You're so right. When you think about like the big three of teams, and you think immediately of like LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, and how teams have tried to build that, like we've got the big three and then just other role pieces around it. What's different to your point about the Knicks is that third piece could be any number of guys on any given night. Is that what you were saying, basically?
Yeah, I mean, 100%, like, exactly that. Or you look even like a game at the Magic game last night, and like, yeah, Brunson and Cat had their points, but like it was mostly 6 or 7 guys in double-digit point, like double-figure points scored.
Yep.
Just a team effort, and that was a big blowout win against a big conference rival right now that I think took 3 out of 4 from us last year that we really need to get wins against. So that was nice to see. And yeah, like I said, just weapons all over the place.
And granted, they didn't have Paolo, but still, that's no excuse. You play,
I mean, they haven't had Paolo for a while, and they've still been one of the best teams in the East. I mean, The Magic without Paolo have been pretty scary good, to the point that when they get Paolo, it might be really dangerous to see what they can do in the East this season.
Oh, he's not here yet, so let's roll.
Fair enough. Well, going around the rest of the roster, I said we were going to do this next. What are you thinking about Brunson and Cat these days, our 2 team leaders?
They're awesome. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I
don't know. It's a podcast, though, so say something.
No, I know. I got to give some takes. I know I already started talking about it from because this is still fresh in my brain with the Magic game. But watching Towns get sassy with not only the Wagner brothers, but when he did that, when was it Franz was on him, and he's just shoulder checking him, and where he stops, looks at the ref, says, and then just turns around and drains a fadeaway. I'm like, yeah, this great. Dude, if he hasn't fully endeared himself to the Knicks fans yet, he has.
I think Bodega Cat is a fan favorite. It took all of 2-3 months, but it's good to roll now.
Oh, he's here, baby. I love him, and I love Brunson. Brunson is such a smart player. He knows when to get his points. He knows when to pass the ball. He knows when to facilitate. He's our point guard, so I'm not going to say.
Sure. I also think you should address him by his full name, and that is NBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Jalen Brunson.
Hey. Congrats, Jalen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that we're going to see Brunson's scoring go down and assists go up, but I might have been wrong. His scoring and assists might just both go up because he's incredible. What more can be said about Jalen Brunson at this point?
I looked it up before we got on today because I know we talked about it last week as far as scoring stats and how much that was going to affect Brunson. And him and Karl-Anthony Towns were both in the top 15. They still are, except they're now both 11 and 12 top in the top 15 scorers of the league. And we're the only team with 2 players in the top 15.
Love that.
I love that too.
Really quickly, let's see how quick. No, keep going. I'm sorry.
There is one thing that does concern me, and it starts with Jalen and Cat, but it's certainly goes to the whole team. Do you feel that our team hits the deck more than any other team in the league as far as like taking hard shots, and just after going up for a layup, they are on the ground, smashing into a stanchion, running into a photographer?
There's definitely a lot of bodies on the floor. I mean, don't tell anybody I said this. This is just between you and I, because, definitely nobody's listening to this.
Sure.
Brunson maybe flops a little bit.
Oh, no. My boy knows how to chase his fouls and knows how to get. And that's part of the game.
Oh, I was an incredible charge taker on my JV high school basketball team. Let me tell you,
bro. Look at us. That's how else are we getting our points? Come on. I know the game, bro. Come on.
But no, I mean, they definitely. I mean,
a
physical team is going to have some bodies on the floor. Do I hold my breath every time Cat takes a fall after his several knee injuries? Yes, absolutely. Especially when we look at Joel Embiid, or what used to be Joel Embiid, trying to play basketball in Philly this season. So yeah, no, I would like to see them go down less. You know, obviously, OG has had his injury history too. But I think that's just what you're going to get from this team. And yeah, I mean, I'd rather have a team that's willing to throw their bodies around to get done than not. So, yeah.
I agree. It is still just worrisome, especially watching him hit the decks. Same thing with OG with his injuries history. I'd like to see less of it, but at the same time, to your point, I want players that want to play, and aren't.
Absolutely.
They're putting their bodies on the line to win for the team. And that means so much. That means a lot, guys. We're sitting here on our couches watching you, and oh my god,
so much.
I sprained my arm cheering. Blood, sweat, and tears. Bleed orange and blue. Okay.
All right. Well,
anyway,
we talked about Sims, but last point of order on the pod outline is to talk about the bench. I'd like to take this time to offer an apology, and that is to one Cameron Payne, who I've been hating on for the last several weeks.
I'll accept on behalf of him.
I was having a hell of a time watching him the last couple nights. He was firing up the Garden Faithful last night in that Magic game. He keeps putting up. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from him so far. I still don't want him to be anything more than a heat check guy when the playoffs roll around. But I'll take anything he can give us this season as a depth guy, and hopefully some of the rookies start to craft roles for themselves as well.
I love that campaign. I mean. Not much to say about the bench from last week. I mean, we got some garbage minutes. I got to see Kolek and Dadier come in, and Huck Porty. But yeah, I mean, campaign, the little psychopath is just sitting there. I know I bring it up all the time. I love it. He's sitting there talking to himself, screaming at things that you don't even know. Is he talking to a human? I don't know. He's just fired up, and my man's dancing on the bench, whipping a towel around. Josh Hart's trying to spank him on the butt. I
love it. He fits in with the team great, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that. You want to see that camaraderie. You want to see them getting close to what they were like last year. Because obviously, Hart was a big piece of that locker room that's gone. But you can tell that they're embracing Cat. Campaign is in there, and obviously McCall's known half the team since college. So,
and. Yeah, and shout out to Isaiah Hartenstein. After being injured to start the season, he's having a pretty good year,
Yeah, he's helping out one of my fantasy teams, that's for sure.
I just want to give kudos to a guy that did a lot for us. So
I'm
happy for him, happy he got paid.
I love that big German. I miss him dearly, but loving where things are at.
Hopefully we don't meet him in the playoffs.
Hopefully we do. Sure. Hopefully we do, because that means we're in the NBA championship.
Oh, yeah. Let me revoke that. I would hate to beat your ass, Isaiah Hartenstein, in the finals.
If you tell me the Knicks meet the Thunder in the playoffs, I will sign up for that.
I would sign up
right
for that
now.
Immediately. Yeah. Give me, I'll prick my finger, I'll sign it in blood, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever contract, dark arts you need me to get into, I'm in. All right, Marky, before we get out of here. Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you have more to say?
No, I just wanted to bring up how, did you catch? I know our parent company, Big Knick Energy, is selling the shirt with OG with the FaceTime forehead thing, which I still have to cop. Did you see him being interviewed by Monica McNutt explaining it?
No, I did not.
His explanation made no sense. He was like, I was about to board a plane. And I was like, yeah, okay, but you couldn't put your face in the screen. Like, what are you doing?
No, that shirt is great.
He was so uncomfortable. He was so uncomfortable. Like, and I hope to God I would love to see him as an all-star just because I think he would be deserving of it. But just to see him have to do that press for a week, there'd be so many gold moments out of it. As a fellow, like, awkward dude, I identify with OG so much. So OG, you're my OG.
No, I love that shirt. Shout out, friend of the pod, Cal Kirkland, Los Angeles' finest real estate agent. He sent me that Instagram post when it got posted, telling me immediately, he's like, I need the shirt right now. It's too good. So yeah, no, that's a good one, for sure. We were talking about the bench. We didn't touch on Deuce, didn't touch on any of the rookies. Anything you want to say there?
No, I mean, they've gotten in, nothing. They haven't really done much since we last spoke. And time they'll get their minutes. Obviously injuries happen. It's a long season. Guys get rested, So yeah, I would love to see Huck Porty get some more minutes, but now with Precious coming back and then Mitch Lumen.
They're both actual words, so that's fair.
I know, pressure. Under pressure.
What if Precious has a sibling named Pressure?
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
I don't know. Under pressure. Okay, that sounds like it's time for that.
No, all right. Before we get out of here, one more thing looking ahead. We'll be back next week, obviously. But between now and then, the Knicks play Charlotte at home tomorrow, Detroit at home on Saturday, and then they go to Toronto to visit our old friends RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly on Monday. All non-NBA Cup games, just normal regular games. What do you think? What do you want out of the next three? What are we going to do? How is it going to play out?
I want to win all three. All three are winnable.
Same.
Let's win them.
No, I mean, obviously just beat Charlotte at their place. Would love to see that happen again. Detroit's been a feisty team so far this season.
Yeah, they've looked good, haven't they?
I mean, if the season ended today, they'd be in the play-in, which I think wasn't something most people expected. We'll see if they stay there or try to go after Cooper Flagg or one of the Rutgers guys in the draft. But no, these are three lower-level teams in the Eastern Conference. I would like to see the Knicks go 3-0, stretch that winning streak to what did I say they'd won in a row when we started this podcast? I already forgot. They won 3 in a row, so stretch that winning streak to 6. They're 8 of their last 10, so it would be nice to be 11 out of the last 13 for sure. I'd like to see that out of these next 3. We can't have any more losses like the Utah loss. If this team is going to be as good as we keep talking them up to be, those got to be wins on the schedule, because you really need to be one of the top 2 teams in the East, I think, this year, or else that first round might get you a tricky matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine being top 4, but you're probably right.
So I was looking at the standings today. I don't know if you've noticed, the Bucks have been playing actually pretty good of late, and they're coming on strong. They're now the 5 seed.
Tailing us right now.
I mean, let's say the season ends today. I don't want to be the 4 seed and have to play Giannis in the first round. That's not something I'd be looking to do.
Sure.
The 3 seed, you probably are looking at the Hawks, which typically I wouldn't care about. There's just a lot of Trae Young, New York City drama, which would be fun to beat them, but I don't want to catch a Trae Young heater and have him randomly win a series for the second time in 4 years. So yeah, that's why I'm saying I want these wins when they're there. I don't want to lose ground in the standings, giving away what should be an easy dub.
I agree. I mean, Cleveland, they're not as good as their record, but they have.
No, and ever since they lost the streak, they've been playing only at like 500. So
yep. So I mean, but they've given themselves, again, there's a lot of season, but like being 19-3 right now is got to feel pretty good, and takes a lot of pressure off you, to just play basketball.
Absolutely. And even with the Knicks' slow start and Cleveland's hot start, I mean, being 5.5 back is a decent gap to make up with 60 left. But I mean, like I said, Cleveland's playing 500 and the Knicks are playing winning ball. So if they start climbing ground in the standings, 1 behind the Magic to move into the 3 seed. I guess I lied when I said we wouldn't be below 3 again this season, but we're almost there. And then 4 games behind the Celtics right now. Would love to see Cleveland keep losing, and would love to overtake them in the Magic and get back to 2, because I think that's where the Knicks need to be to make good on everything.
And I think things will start to level out as we are kind of starting to see it. So let's only time will tell.
100%. 100%. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything in Knicks land, with the biggest of Knick energies for this week. Don't forget, please follow, like, and subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're probably on other podcast platforms that I'm not thinking of right now, but should be. And if they also give us sponsorship dollars, the theme of this episode, I will remember them next week. That's for sure. Follow Big Knick Energy on Twitter, Big Knick Energy on Instagram, on on Twitter. Don't forget, it is Big Knick Energy _ on Instagram. It's just the normal thing. Blue Sky coming soon. If you want to get questions in on the podcast, bkepod@gmail.com. Once again, that's bkepod@gmail.com. I'm Jon Karl-Anthony at Jon Karl-Anthony on all social platforms. Marky, tell the people how they can find you.
Google me, Mark Abogado.
Google him, baby. Google Marky. Google Glamour Kills. Google a new product where you
Google Glamour Kills.
Yeah, your search results stick. That's Google.
We've got some holiday sales going on. We got some new product. Come on, baby. Well, I know Knick fans love them some emo music. Let's go.
Absolutely. And also don't forget to check out the Big Knick Energy shop. There's a lot of fun merch there. They were just running a good Black Friday Cyber Week sale. It may or may not still be going on. I'm not going to lie. I forget if it's ended or not.
I think they extended it.
I think they did extend it. So I do think it's still going on. I just don't want to false advertise and false promises make false promises to our listeners, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But as always, to all of you listeners at home, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening and or watching as always. And we'll be back next week. Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.